Hello and welcome students to my channel. In today's lecture, I'm going to explain you in easy way what are the predefined macros that are available in Advanced C. So whenever we are going to implement predefined macros are basically given inbuilt, but we need to declare them and get efficiently their qualities to be determined. So, what are the predefined macros that we have? So, let us understand by practical way in terms of coding part. So, whenever you have predefined macros, predefined macros that are the macros supported by compiler and they are very much specific in translation. So if I talk about predefined macros and if you want to implement them in terms of C language, so we need to be very much specific with respect to C. So the first macro that I want to just show you, you can have that macro to be used to get a detail of file created. So let me explain you that with the help of code. So we'll open Turbo C++ tool and let's type that macro here. And as this is predefined macro, we can use it in a potential way. So I'm going to show you in this video date and time macro and what output they return. Okay. So let us do one simple program for the macro. I will just clear this part and let's go for program writing. First of all, we'll include header files, hash include stdio.h. Then we have hash include conio.h. Then I will go with void main. Now here this macros I'm going to call inside or declare inside printf directly, and let us see the effect of it during the program execution. So I'm going to take a date macro. Now what's the role of date macro? See, whenever we type a source code, see currently I'm typing a source code as a developer. So what happens to that? This source code of the program is converted into object code. So what happens? Every program which was getting compiled on a particular date. Okay, suppose I have compiled a program yesterday or day before yesterday. So that date got recorded there. So why we are using date macro? Because we need to check where this particular program is getting compiled and when that object file is getting created. And whenever you want to see the output will have some format. Okay, so I will just show you if you want to get the details. So date of compilation is, okay, so I am just going to use this date of compilation. Now you know that you might have description in a form of string. So basically you can do that. You can have percent s. Okay, you'll have percent s, and then once you want to use this macro, you just need to have two underscore, then date, and then two underscore again, and you can complete this particular program by putting it as get ch, and then you'll just run this program and let's check what it returns. Okay, now date of compilation is not shown directly, so we'll just check with by removing percent s. So I will just remove this percent s and let's check what it returns. Okay, so here what is happening out, the date macro is not getting compiled. So what we can do when we want to implement the date macro, we need to understand one thing, that even though we can have standard input output file or the conio.h file, we need to just check it out how it works. So basically, this date macro or whether it's a time macro, we need to understand what's the time of compilation, what's the date of compilation is. So let me just redeclare it by understanding this way, but it won't identify the concern. So again, it shows error. So we need to just rectify that why it is not getting properly displayed. Okay, so I'm just doing some adjustments. So one thing, it is very much important that you need to get actual format in which the date is getting displayed. But currently the date is not getting displayed with respect to the value that we are looking for. So if I will get this date format, I just first save this file because this file is actually under CPP. So if I will first save that a.c, and if I will run this, still it is a problematic one that I'm not getting. So whenever you are going to use a date macro need to be properly placed, and even though you are going to have some value that can be written, we need to reframe that. So I'll just do this. Simply I'm going to put first this way, and then we'll go with okay. Now see what are the consequences with which you will not get output. So most of the times when you are putting a string value, please try to put it in a proper way in double quotes. So if I use clear screen here, and if I want to check now current output, so this is what is the date format. You get that month, day, and year. Now, if you see the date of current video I'm making is 25th March, the same thing is getting displayed because the file is compiled today only. So it is going to record that day, that particular display will be given according to this. So if I want to use this date macro, you need to be very specific with respect to how you are putting this percent %s. And if you are not able to put it properly, you won't get output. That is what one of the reason I want to show you what mistakes we do while using date macro. And even if you want to use a time macro, you can use it in a similar way. So I will take another printf, and then I will put percent %s. See, percent %s is basically for string, but now I want to use the time macro because I need to get time of compilation, and then I will put get ch here. So previously, why it was not working? I was just telling you in that sense. If you are just writing a string and using percent %s, and if you are not placing it properly, you won't get output. So this program needs lots of practice. Whenever you want to do some predefined macros or conditional macros, that basically is more important you to practice a lot, because when you're doing in different compilers, see what happens, we have so many ready-made compilers online, and if you're doing through those compilers, basically you get different ways in which the output is getting represented. But the potential is you can use softwares, you can use compilers which are mostly very specific or discipline specific to write the code, and you definitely get the output. So if you check the output of this program, see the time of compilation with which it will be given. So you can observe like this: is after 2025 you will have 22 is to 11 is to 31, means you have the format in which the current time will be executed, or rather you can say it will be displayed in a 24 hours clock format. So date and time you are able to see, and where this time macro is working, how this time macro is working. that you need to understand. So if you are going for a time macro, it will just give you the time at which program was compiled. Okay, so you can check this particular macro, and the time format will be hour, minute, and second. In this format only, the date will be, or the time will be written, and the date format you already got that how you're going to get it. So month you're going to get it first, then the day, and then the year. So whenever the predefined macros you are going to use, those macros you need to use properly. You need to place it properly, and according to that, you can go for the execution. Okay, now we have some macros even with respect to file. So if you want to check the file with the name of file, so you have a file macro as well. So you can implement file macro here. This is whatever I'm showing you right now is a predefined macro. So you can have a practice on this. So if you want to get a file macro, again the same thing, you can have %s, and then you can just declare file macro same way. Now, whatever line you are able to see is two underscore connected together. After date, two underscore connected. Before date, two underscore. Even up before date, before time, and after time, two underscore. After file, before file, two underscore. So like that, you will get the declaration. If you give the single underscore, you won't get output. So lots of things to practice in terms of macro. Okay, now here what has happened to the file macro declaration? I have not given semicolon. So errors will be shown to be specific, and we need to just consider that. Now see, the file name with extension is getting displayed. So the name to this file I have given is a.c, and the same name it displays. So whenever you want to check the file name of the file that you are compiling, it will be displayed by using file macro. So these three macros I am just giving you with respect to define predefined criteria, then you can practice that, because even though you can study a basic macro or argumented or the parameterized macro, these all slots are very much important. Even conditional macros are very easy, but with respect to that, you can just study predefined macros also. These are the small topics you can prepare and get things done in the proper way. So I hope this video you have understood. In this video I have shown you only three predefined macros, and you please practice that and you will get the output. So if you are getting output of the program that you have compiled before 3 to 4 days in exact way, you can comment me that. So just check this program how it works with this compiler, and just confirm your knowledge about predefined macros. So thank you for watching video. Please get into your studies, get into your practice, and then you will get perfection in the program. Thank you.